What's up, 11.7 fans? This has been up.
We have a special interview today. We have Jake Kuchmaner, one of the rising stars across college baseball. He's a pitcher for East Carolina, just threw a perfect game this past weekend. An absolutely incredible story. We're going to dive into it a little bit here today. Alongside me is Ben. Jake, welcome to the show, my man.
Hey, how you guys doing? Good to be here. Excited.
Awesome.
Dude, how did we pull you off, man? Like, I was just sitting back thinking, like, what were the odds that we actually got the kid that threw the perfect game this past weekend and also was 1 out away against Ole Miss? Like, how did we land that so quick, James? Like, that's incredible.
I don't know. We're really lucky. But, Jake, my first question for you, and we'll kind of ease into things. But going from the fall into the spring, what kind of expectations did you have for yourself? I mean, obviously, like, you're an elite talent, and I know you expected to do well. But, I mean, did you kind of expect to be just punching dudes' tickets left and right and just sitting everybody down? Like, this has been really cool to watch, man.
Right. I mean, okay, so give you guys a little backstory. This summer I went to play I went to Maryland, played in the Calrissian League. I only had 2 outings. In my second outing, I started to feel some pain in my elbow, but, you know, I mean, like any pitcher,
yeah.
like you want to keep throwing. Like you don't want to hang it up. You're like, you know, it's probably just soreness. I'm probably just tired. Like I can keep going, no problem. The game ended up getting rained out in the second inning, so I'm like, oh God, like come on, man. So you know, whatever, do my post throw stuff, come back next day feeling terrible. I'm like, wow, something's not right here. This feels like a sharp pain. Trying to throw, couldn't throw 60 feet. So I go home. I end up going back to Greenville, find out that I have a partial tear in my UCL. I get a PRP injection. If you guys know what that is, I think that's
No, tell me what that is.
Okay, so the PRP injection is basically you take about, I don't know how much it is, maybe 60 cc's of blood. I don't even know what measurement that is.
Doesn't matter.
But they take it out and then they inject that into the partially torn ligament. And that helps speed up the recovery process. So I did that this summer, this August, right before I came back to school.
Wow.
So then once I got to school, I was on a rehab program. So I was rehabbing all fall. I didn't throw it all in the fall. Me and one of our other pitchers, Gavin Williams, who is actually starting for us tomorrow against Wilmington. Phenomenal pitcher, but we've rehabbed together the whole way, so I got to know him pretty well through the rehab process. So we're both doing it, and at that point, I didn't really throw much our freshman year. I think I had 20-something innings, a couple starts. So I was kind of unsure of what to expect for myself coming in my sophomore spring. Rehabbing in the fall, just get stronger, build more stability to my body, and then just kind of as soon as the spring came, just kind of let it all hang out. So
you've definitely done that.
Yeah, no,
yeah.
I think that's where I've done well, is just to let it. I mean, I feel like I work as hard as anybody. I do the right things. So I think that was, for me, the biggest thing was just going and playing and being a good teammate and supporting the guys around me, but just let it all hang loose and just have fun.
Yeah. Was there ever a moment this summer whenever you felt your arm obviously hurting? Was there ever a moment when you're like, God, I'm going to have to get Tommy John surgery, sit out a whole year, not be with my teammates? Like, was that thought ever crossing your mind? Or
absolutely. I mean, that was one of the first things I was worried about. I was like, dude, I might have torn this. I might be out for a year. At that point, you're, a lot of the negative self-thinking comes in, and you're just like, well, now my college baseball career is probably over because, nobody ever comes back and all that stuff. And, then you have to realize, hey, just see what it is first before you start having all these thoughts. Figure out what it actually is and then go from there. Quit digging yourself a hole that you're not even in yet.
Yeah. And so I got to ask you, how were your fall stats and your pre-spring stats? Did you at least show the team that you could still get outs even with a partially torn UCL?
was shut down for the whole fall, and then this pre-spring I was okay to pretty good. I mean, I was getting outs, but I wasn't. I mean, my fastball command was okay. I was only throwing. I mean, it was fastball changeup mostly because he didn't want me to spin because I wasn't really 100% until a couple weeks before the season started. So I wasn't as good as I wanted to be. I wasn't really sharp. But there was some show of like, hey, I mean, it's in there.
And that's all you need, really. Like, just a little boost of confidence, like, hey, you know what? Like, I got this.
Right.
That's what you need and what you're looking for. And so you started against Air Force. You went 5 innings. Like, actually had a pretty good start. 2 earned runs, 3 strikeouts. Like, first appearance back since you hurt your arm, like, in game situation. And then you come out and go 2 scoreless innings against Western Carolina. So I'm sure, like, those 2 games, like, obviously you went 1-1, but, I mean, the 5 innings, 2 earned runs is pretty good against an Air Force club that's solid. And then you get when did you get the notice that you were starting at Ole Miss on March 6th? How much of a time frame did you have to realize that you're starting against them?
The Western Carolina Sunday appearance was, I think that was the week before Ole Miss, correct?
Yeah, it was. It was March 3rd, and then March 6th you got the start.
Okay, yeah. So I think the plan was, if they didn't need me that weekend, was to start me on Tuesday or one of the midweek guys, but I was probably going to pitch the second game or whatever. So it was like, hey, if you're available, we're going to use you if we don't need you this weekend for too much. So ended up wanting to put me in for the Sunday game. So I was like, okay, well, I'm probably not going to start Tuesday. So I figured, okay. And then he was like, after the Tuesday game, he was like, all right, well, you got the ball for Wednesday. So, you know, I was ready for that.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Because you ended up going 8 2/3. You were 1 out away from a no-hitter. Like, tell me about, like, the feeling you had, 2 outs in the 9th. No, don't say that you didn't know that there was a no-hitter, like most pitchers would. Like,
no, I knew, like, I mean, if we're gonna be real, like, every pitcher looks at the scoreboard.
Exactly.
At least the third inning and goes, and at least the third inning is like, I have a no-hitter. Let's not mess this up.
Yeah.
And from that, I mean, basically from, you know, even in the first inning, sometimes I'm like, all right, well, I still got it. So, I mean, you're always looking for it as a pitcher.
For sure, absolutely. But some of those guys are like, oh, I didn't even know I had it. Like, right.
No, right. Yeah, so for me, you know, I saw it, I was like, all right, well, just keep doing what you've been doing. I mean, you're getting outs, you have good fastball command. Guys are making plays behind you. You know, there's no reason that you can't keep going as long as you stay focused. So, you know, that was the biggest thing, was just to keep throwing strikes, keep, you know, staying on the knees, staying at the black, and then, you know, obviously just let my defense work behind me.
Yeah.
You know,
no, absolutely, man.
From Spencer Brickhouse, which was huge because their pitcher was dealing too. I mean, that guy was really good.
For sure.
He was a freshman. He was like 88 to 90 from the left side. He was really good. He just happened to make a mistake, and Brickhouse hit one over the fence. So.
Brickhouse hit about 2 or 3 homers whenever I played him when I was at Mercer. So I know all about. It was a freshman.
Yeah, no, that dude can swing it, man.
Yeah, he's a freak. He's just a big body guy.
He's gotten bigger too, which is scary.
That's because I was gonna say he didn't even have muscle that year as a freshman. No, he was just tall and skinny.
He's a monster now.
And then so you went 8 2/3. Did the Ole Miss crowd, who's usually known for being like just torturous towards the opposing team, did they give you like a standing ovation or anything?
Yes.
Like
they did. They were awesome. They were awesome. As soon as I came out, everybody was up and clapping, and you know, there was this group of little kids that was like heckling me the whole game, like, "Hey, give up a hit! Hey, give up a hit!" And then as soon as I came out, though, even the kids were like, "Hey, you were awesome, great job, all that stuff."
That's so cool, man.
Yeah,
it
was super cool experience. And then on the way out to the bus, a bunch of their fans stopped me and shook my hand and told me good job. So definitely a game I'll remember for sure because of that.
Well, despite how awesome the fans were to you after the game, some true baseball fans, your own teammates kind of brought you back down to earth with peanut butter jelly sandwich in your face, man. What's up with that?
Yeah, that's how they are on a daily basis, really. I mean, everybody throws, you know, stuff at everybody. So I was not expecting that. I couldn't hear anything out of the headphones. our media guy was telling them no, but he was like, no, don't do it. But then he was like, all right, go ahead, and they ended up getting me in the face.
So I want to ask you this. Whose
Good.
idea do you think that was? Who are some of the biggest pranksters on the team? Maybe it's you. Maybe that's why they did it to you.
No,
I don't know.
definitely Jake Agnos. That guy's hilarious. Bryant Packard, hilarious. Evan Volva, hilarious. Those guys are always there. Trey Benton, you know, those guys are definitely the funniest dudes I think I've ever been around. They keep everybody loose. I mean, anytime a release of just some funny stuff, those guys are the first guys that'll bring it. So definitely came from them.
Yeah, and so for the listeners out there that don't know exactly what we're talking about, I'm sure you've seen the video. It went kind of viral. So Jake was getting interviewed after the Ole Miss start, and he's got the big old headset on, and two of his teammates came up and splashed water in his face, and then put 2 Smucker's PB&Js over his eyes. It was the funniest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah,
just
that was
total goofballs, man. Just you gotta root for a team like that. They're having a lot of fun. So
yeah,
you'll see it on Twitter if you search it. It's so funny.
I can't believe they waste those peanut butter and jellies. I mean, that's like prime time. That's survival stuff.
Oh, those are the best dugout snack in America.
Honestly, dude, I can attest to that too. I can 100% attest.
Or I have to chew gum or seeds because if not, I'll have like 8 of them a game, and I'll put on 10 pounds like easy.
Especially the days you're not pitching when you can just chill.
I'm just sitting in the dugout. I've got nothing to do. I might be keeping a chart or whatever. I'm watching the game and I'm like, wow, I'm hungry. I need some food, and I'll go every inning. I'll grab a PB&J, and not
That's
even
amazing.
about it.
Well, hey, switching gears for a minute, if you don't mind. You mentioned fastball command being something that you wanted to focus on in the pre-spring. So let me ask you this: like, what is most important for you, or what's something that you know you need to do to kind of help you get going right? Like some guys need to feel and think about certain other things. Some guys they sing songs when they're out there on the mound, and they don't even pay attention to anything.
Yeah.
But like, kind of, where are you in that whole thing? Are you a big thinker? You like to just go out and play and like let your talent show? Where are you at with that, man?
So for me, I don't know if you guys have seen it or not, but I'm a mid-80s fastball. So for me, fastball command wins. If I have my fastball command and I can throw my changeup, and then on top of that, I don't know if you guys saw when Trevor Bauer was mic'd up. Did you guys see that?
Yeah. Oh, yes, yeah.
So I'm watching him, and he's talking to himself the whole time. I'm like, man, maybe that works. Maybe that's why he's good.
Self-talk, bro. That stuff
I'm
works.
telling you, man, that stuff will take you. It helps you be in the moment. It helps you be in the pitch. And then
it kind of relaxes you at the same time.
100%. Yeah. Once you can tell yourself, hey, like, just do this, and then you do it, it's just kind of confidence that just builds on itself. So for me, just taking that from him, and I've seen Max Scherzer do it. Max Scherzer's a little bit more intense.
Oh, yeah. He's
Trevor
fired up the whole time. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, Max Scherzer seems to be, like, wanting to hurt somebody when he does it.
I love in the Trevor Bauer mic up. He's like, throws a pitch, looks at the scoreboard. He's like, dang, 91? That's not going to work. 92? What? That's not going to work.
Yeah, that's not going to play. Yeah. That's what I mean. That's where I got it from. But, I mean, even that, like, something simple as that can change your whole outing. If you're just talking to yourself and reinforcing the good and then helping yourself when you start falling off a little bit, definitely helps.
Yeah. Cool, dude. Well, thanks for that insight, bro. That's good stuff.
And so the last thing we want to do in this interview is actually talk about the achievement itself. Walk us through, I guess, I want you to start, like, before the game even started. Like, did you have a feeling you were going to go out there and deal against Maryland? Or, like, were you, like, a lot of guys say when they throw no-hitters, they throw the worst bullpens before the game. And they're like, shit, let's just go for it. Like, whatever I have. Or maybe it's the opposite for you. Maybe it was the best bullpen you've ever thrown. And then kind of just, like, walk us through some points where you're like, like, all right, I have this thing going. Like, I got to keep it up. Nobody say anything in the dugout. And then I want to hear about the last out, like how that actually felt to accomplishment. Or accomplish that, sorry.
Yeah, so to start the day, I get a Snapchat from our Saturday guy. And it was real loose Snapchat. He's like, hey, man, because he had lift that morning, so he was up at like 8 and he had to go lift. But we didn't have breakfast till 10 or whatever, but he gets up, he Snapchats me, he goes, hey, make it quick today, I'm trying to go home. He's like, hey, just throw strikes, like, let's just get out of here. So, I mean, for me, that kind of just, honestly, that set the tone for the day. I was like, all right, well, I think everybody wants to go home, so let's just throw strikes. And, you know, in the team meeting, same thing, just they were aggressively swinging teams, so I knew if I was down in the zone and making good pitches, they'd get themselves out. So the same thing, and then once I'm throwing, I felt good, you know, and that bullpen. So it's funny you say that about the bullpen because I thought about that a couple weeks ago that, you know, the better the bullpen, usually the worse the outing.
Oh, and it goes the same way too. Like as a hitter, like the worse the BP you take before the game, the better you're going to hit in the game. Like it just 100%. It's crazy. It's crazy how that works.
Oh, I know. Well, and that's what's funny. That was probably the best bullpen I've thrown, like ever. I was like,
really?
That's when I was like really nervous. I was like, all right, something's gonna go wrong here, and I really don't know. So I'm in the dugout, and I'm like, all right, well, just trying to get myself back focused.
Yeah, you're sitting in there like, man, I just wasted all my good bullets.
I'm like, nobody really knows, but I'm super worried right now. So then, I go out there in first, and the leadoff guy swings the first pitch, hits the ground ball. I'm like, all right, well, that's not bad. Second guy, get out in like 2 or 3 pitches. I'm like, all right, settle in a little bit. And then third guy, I think I maybe ran the count full or something like that, and I'm getting to fly out. So I was like, okay, not bad first inning.
You're like, perfect game, still intact.
So I was like, I can probably go pretty far if I keep doing that.
They said quick, right? They said, let's get out of here. I'm ready. Let's go.
Yeah, I was like, hey, man, I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. Let's get out of here. But yeah, so then finally, third, fourth inning, I look up. I'm like, oh, I still haven't given up a hit. I didn't even think about the watch. I don't know. My mind didn't really go there. But
yeah.
I was like, hey, still haven't given up a hit. Try to keep going. And so since I threw 5 2/3 on Tuesday against Duke, I wasn't really expecting to go more than 5 innings on Sunday. Like,
yeah.
they were pretty like, hey, just, I know you probably feel good, but let's be smart, which is 100% understandable.
Yeah.
So I was, but at the time, I was still hadn't given up a base runner. So 5th inning comes, still rolling. I'm like, all right, well, it's not bad. 6, same thing, 7th. He starts coming up to me every inning now. He's like, hey, how you feel? I'm like, I feel good. Like, I can keep going. And, they have guys up in the bullpen for just in case somebody gets on. Because as soon as somebody got on base, I was done. That was going to be it. So 8th inning comes, and that was, I think we scored I forget what game we scored in, maybe the 5th or 6th. But for me, that was like a really big inning to focus and get quick outs. I wasn't even worried about the perfect game or any no-hit or anything like that. I was just worried about getting outs.
Yeah, you have a lead now. Like, you're pitching with a lead.
I'm like, all right, so let's be efficient with fill the zone. And then from there, 7th inning, same thing. Like, hey, let's just keep going. 8th inning was really good. And then 9th inning, I'm like, all right, here we go again. Let's not give it up with 1 out left. First guy was pretty good. I think I got him to pop up. Another note about that, you guys probably couldn't tell anybody that saw any highlights and all that, but the sun was right behind home plate.
Oh, no.
Up in the air. So as soon as the ball goes up in the air, all of our fielders are throwing their glove up right in their face. I'm like, and then the wind's blowing the ball at least 20 feet every time the ball goes up. So I'm like, oh my God.
And as a former infielder, and James was too, like both corner infielders, when the ball goes up in the air on the infield, that is the last thing
hardest
you see.
Hardest ball you can ever get. I had about 3 or 4 infield probably 5 or 6 actually of like infield pop flies that were crazy high. The wind's blowing like crazy.
It's the worst.
No, and we made, I mean, obviously we made every single play, but like it was awesome. Like those guys were awesome.
Yeah.
So they were awesome all day. And same thing in the outfield is like nobody could see anything. The ball's moving all over the place. Okay, so then 1 out, ground ball hit to first base, and first baseman's my roommate, and dude lays out. I don't know if you guys saw the play or heard about it, but it was unreal.
Yeah,
like,
no,
there's it.
The ball was smoked to first. He just turns and like lays down, basically catches it, flips to me, and then after he makes the play, he's got the biggest smile on his face. Dude, I mean, so you got to make one play.
And that was it.
Like he knew it as soon as he did it too. So I just on his face. I was so happy. Like I wanted to give him a hug right there. Like, dude, thank you so much. I'll buy him dinner or something later in the week, something like that. And then the last hitter, really similar to Ole Miss, pinch hitter. All I had to do was just throw strikes. I knew that, so it was like I'd been there before, so I knew what to do. So the Ole Miss game kind of set me up for that. It felt like, to where okay, I've been here before. I know what to do. Just throw strikes and just trust that what you've been doing all game is going to work. So got ahead 1-2, threw him a breaking ball, and he fouled him off. I thought I was going to get him, and then threw him a changeup, swung right over top of it, and then everybody mobbed me. So that was pretty cool.
I bet that was the best feeling in the world too.
Oh,
like your teammates mobbing you. It's a Sunday day game. Everybody's all sweaty, and you're just like, I did it.
I didn't know what to do. I just couldn't stop smiling. It was crazy. It was awesome.
Yeah. And then, so I guess to top it all off, there's actually a video out there of you having to clean the bus when you got back to, was it Greenville, North Carolina?
Yeah. What's up with that? So for me, that's just something I like to do anyway. Like, we all have to clean the bus. That's just part of our job. So I didn't want anything to change just because I had a good game. Like I just wanted to do my job either way. So that's what that was.
That's good.
Man.
Stay down to earth, man.
Yeah,
keep doing what got you there.
Yeah, exactly. Nothing changes, good or bad. So
for sure. But yeah. So James, you got any other questions for Jake?
No, I think this has been really cool. I definitely appreciated the time. Jake, man, I wish you a lot of good luck and fortune the rest of the way, man. I think you got, you're thinking about this the right way. It's probably, it's not something that you may think about when you're a senior in high school, that like one day soon you're going to be, kind of a national media star. But like at the end of the day, Ben and I as former players, like we want you to, be able to put this stuff like away when the phone interviews are over, so you can keep out and going to morning weights and crushing that and taking practice seriously, as you said you have been in rehab. It's just really cool story, man, and we're going to keep rooting for you just as former players, man. Like, we're always rooting for guys to do things the right way because that's what we had to do to make it ourselves. So I just wish you luck, bro. This is awesome.
Yeah.
No, thank you. I appreciate you guys a lot. This has been definitely the best interview I've done.
Yeah.
Really cool to hear from you guys. Be able to talk to you guys. So thank you guys a lot.
Yeah, no problem. And I actually get to see your brother this weekend. He gets to travel down to Macon, Georgia, where I'm at, and tell him to take it easy on the Mercer Bears, man. They're struggling right now. They're struggling. All right, man. Well, I appreciate the time. Thank you, and good luck the rest of the way.
Yeah, thank you guys.
See you, Jake.
All right, see you guys.